Yo, it's your boy, Donald, and there was a ton of memorable moments at the Major, perhaps Niko having one of the most memorable of all time. However, I would like to make the argument that Niko was more impactful for G2 than s1mple was for Navi. Now, I am firmly of the belief that G2 gets absolutely blown out without Niko on their squad against Navi, but heading into the final, Niko had a 1.68 impact rating with a 1.42 rating. That is unheard of for a rifler, and to put that into perspective, that's Yakindar levels of impact with s1mple levels of rating. That is absolutely unbelievable. So I want to show you a 3-round span here at the end of Heroic G2 where they're down 15-14 and Niko absolutely delivers. So initially they get banana control, but I want you to take a note here of the utility and the health bars, because despite G2 being in a 5v4, Heroic has probably about a 50-50 chance, or probably a little bit less, but a very reasonable chance to win this round. Niko can't just sit back and let this one go. So his team is going to group up, and Niko is going to be leading in as the entry player here, where he pushes refresh off and then repeats to catch Tezes, but he's not done with that. He actually continues forward and catches refresh crossing, which could have been a round-winning play. Instead, he catches him crossing, jumps up, allows Jax to get what is essentially a free kill and more or less win his team the round. This is map 3 of the semifinal that they certainly could have lost if Niko didn't get that ridiculous shot onto Tezes. So I said I would show you 3 rounds in a row. This second one here is probably the least impactful he is, but he still gets a double. And in this round, he's just going to throw the standard utility over there towards Banana, trying to deny information from Heroic, and then he makes his way over towards Apartments. He's really meant to be the lurk in this play, but that's not exactly how it ends up working out. So his team goes into the 4v4, he catches an angle onto Cadian, but can't quite land the shot, still lands the dunk onto his head for 60 damage, but what's interesting is what happens a little bit later. So Refresh is going to get a kill onto Jax, and Niko, instead of rushing out like a lot of players would, trying to get the instant trade, he clears sight, waits a second, tosses that flash, and then jumps out, and he gets the turnaround onto Cadian, who is b-hopping around for some reason. But Niko doesn't force things too much. He knows he can take his time there, and that's what allows him to get the entry that, if he dies there, they simply lose this round. He will die here though, and it follows into, although Niko isn't included, one of the most tense moments of the entire tournament. Tezes looks to clear the site, thinks he has, but Nexa is still in there. The crowd is going wild. They don't realize what's happening. Nexa manages the 1v2. This last round before I go to the other series is a very good one to learn from in terms of how you want to try and take information and run with it. So what I want you to notice is this nade refresh throws here, and watch how G2 react. Instantly, they push their way up towards truck side. Now, if we look back at what happened in Apartments, Amanek peeked out, got a kill, and spotted Cadian. So that nade told G2 that there's a player arch, and we already know that Cadian is towards Apartments. So zero hesitation, everyone on G2 is on the same page. They instantly move their way up truck side. Niko picks up the first kill and the second, and that's lights out for the round. Heroic immediately go to save. Now this is 3 rounds back to back at the end of regulation and the beginning of overtime, where Niko gets single or double entries leading into the bomb site. That is insane. Now, I mentioned his stats going into the finals. Of course, he lost a little bit of his stats in the final itself, but that's what you expect when Niko is trying his best to carry and he's playing Navi, really. Now, one of the things I was thinking live in this game is that near the end, it felt like Niko was getting red and he was getting a bit too aggressive. However, watching it back, I realized that G2 literally do not win a T-side round that isn't revolving around Niko doing something ridiculous. So we can go here to start with round 19. His team's trying to do an upper split, and Niko's role here is really to just trade on anyone near s1mple's position. Unfortunately though, his team dies in mini, and then he hits that shot, And in this position, very low utility 3v4, Niko is in hunt mode. He really just wants to find a player looking for information and get a quick kill. And that's exactly what he's going to find onto Bit. Bit's just looking to see what's going on, and Niko laser beams him. Then he even gets the information that Boomich is dropping down into lower. So not only has Niko brought this from a 3v5 into a 3v3, he's also got extra information and put Navi in a very uncomfortable spot. Now, he's going to get hell control, and then eventually his team is going to make his way into lower, where again, he is leading into the lower bomb site with 27 health. Nobody's there to be found though, and then he's going to take the high ground, which always secures victory, before dropping down, and this is the whiff everyone was talking about, right? So G2 win a couple of anti-ecos, and a few rounds go back and forth, and then we've got this round here. Now, this is something I wouldn't necessarily want you to do at home, because I'm sure there's a bit of anti-stratting that goes into this, but look at this play here. Nexa gets the kill on Electronic, and then Niko pushes through the smoke into Big Garage and catches a timing where Navi are re-aggressing in towards Ramp Room. Niko knows that oftentimes Electronic is completely alone in Outer. It's a duel that they actually fight many times in this game, and so he takes that opportunity to walk his way into heaven. He's going to spot out Perfecto pushing, and he's not going to end up getting a kill, but this information allows his team to walk into the upper bomb site, and as well allows them to know that almost certainly G2 are walk pushing through ramp, so they're ready for that and they get the round win. Although Niko doesn't even get himself a kill in this round, the impact he had cannot be understated. So if we go to round 28, no, can't watch. Next round. Now I want to show round 30 here just to illustrate how clutch Niko is even in this series. He's only 21-20 here, which means he's not necessarily hard carrying in the way you would think, but I feel like I've already illustrated how strong he has been creating opportunities on G2's T side. And this is, again, the 30th round. This time G2 has a chance to close it out. His team is going to be going for a hell to upper split, but unfortunately this side of the hit gets dominated, and so Niko has to take things into his own hands. But I want you to note this bit here where he's not running forward to Perfecto, because if he moves forward he might get trapped in the site. Instead, he backs up to try and line up a double. So he's over here towards Tetris. He's going to be able to take down Perfecto and then catch the mini rotate as well, turning it into a 1v2. And this absolutely makes Navi sweat. He's basically gone from a 1v5 to a 1v2. Round 30 of the grand finals of a major. Unfortunately, with s1mple on the other side, it's a little bit tough to actually win this, but he certainly did make Navi sweat, and he almost got the bomb plant too. Now, there is certainly a point where it feels that Niko gets a bit desperate. G2 simply are not winning T-side gun rounds, and he tries to force things, and to some extent it does work. We can see this round here where he catches a very clean timing to kill s1mple. You'll see what happens. The smokes are coming down. He doesn't wait for them. He crosses early. s1mple, and you can see it on his face cam if you saw this one live. He is extremely surprised that Niko could be there. Niko caught a very clean timing, and of course, there's risk to that. However, G2 needed these risks to be taken because without them, they simply weren't converting rounds. Now, this one you can put on Nexa as much as you can put it on s1mple, or as much as you can put it on Niko, as Niko's going to be double flashing them into upper, but Navi is stacked in lower. So Navi don't really have much of a chance into this round, but Niko's single kill onto s1mple, which realistically s1mple would have gotten if Niko was crossing after the smokes bloomed. That kill put G2 into the position to win this round. Now, I do think by the end of this game, Niko is starting to get red, and you can see it in this round here where G2 are going 5-man outer, but Niko goes through the smoke again, and Electronic is completely ready for it. He actually gets blinded by a flash, makes noise in garage, and Electronic wraps around for the kill. Electronic, I almost even made a video on him because I feel he plays outside on Nuke so effectively, especially in this series. But the difference between Electronic and Niko is I feel that Niko is forced to go for these aggressive plays because otherwise his team simply isn't getting things done. Now, I don't want to take anything away from Navi. They played a fantastic tournament and s1mple was on top of his game, but I want to make the case that despite Niko's most memorable moment in this tournament probably being a deagle whiff, he had an MVP caliber performance of his own, and if G2 had won the final, which certainly they could have won a single T round and brought it home on Mirage, you would be talking about Niko's performance for a long time to come. This was an incredible performance from Niko, and I think it's being overlooked. Anyways, thanks for watching, and I hope this helped. Also, shout out to BenQ as they actually sent me one of their desktop lights that you mount on top of your monitor. It's actually really convenient, surprisingly, but BenQ makes very solid products. I've used their monitors for a long time, so shout out to BenQ. Thanks for the product. Have a nice one.